Hi everybody, Pai-chan here, and on today's video, I know I haven't really been doing anything related to Christmas this month, but that will be next week. And I'll do a little bit of a special thing dealing with my first impressions thing. And at the end of this video, I will be having a little picture like I did with my last review, and I'll put a link of where you can find it in the description, again, like I did in my last review. But today, we're going to be talking about the anime, The Devil is a Part-Timer. And if you notice a little bar on the top, yes, I did check this out from the library, but that's nothing to be ashamed of. Oh, and so a little tip is, if you can't afford the anime and manga, go to your local library. They may have some for you to check out. Well, for today, before I get into anything, I'm gonna do what I normally do. Warning, spoilers are ahead. Alright, you gotta keep that, you gotta cover yourself just in case, because I know that some people with this can get a little annoyed if you don't put that spoiler warning in there. So that's always good. Well, as always, let's start with the characters. The first character you have is Satan, or as he goes by in the human world, Sadao Mao. And I'll get back to that when I talk about the story, or maybe even some of the other characters. Well, at first, he doesn't know, when he comes to the human world, actually Tokyo, he has no idea where he is or anything like that. He just comes here to get away from another character and regain his powers. Little does he know, he cannot use his powers here in this world, unless there is some special circumstances that I may or may not get into, because that's a pretty big spoiler for part of it. So again, I might or might not talk about that. We'll see when we get there. Well, at first, like I said, he is very unknowledgeable about the world around him. But after he kind of hypnotizes the police officers that first pick him up because of some stuff, because I'm not completely sure exactly why, but I think it has something to do with a public nuisance or something like that. I think it's more that you can interpret it for yourself. He goes, sets everything up, and for him and his general that follow them, I'll get into him here in a minute, and set up a good place for him to live. And he actually winds up then he gets a job at McDonald's. And yes, I know it is a spoof of McDonald's. I caught that the very first time it said it, the first time I watched this. This is actually the second to do my little study on this, and it goes through his change, showing that he is a very good employee and all that, unlike his general wound up being, which is actually, I think, pretty funny. That the leader is a better employee than the general. The big boss dude is a better like bottom level employee and all that than the general itself. So oh well. And it goes through him showing who he truly is to them, and it's actually very endearing. So, like I said just a minute ago, next we talk about Alciel, or Asha as he's known here. I'm not quite sure what his last name or first name or whatever is there, because it hardly ever said it. It says so it says Sadao Mao a lot. So, and then there's a little teaser about that in one of the later episodes, which is actually pretty funny. This is actually more of a comedy, by the way. So, if you like that. But he is really over the top flamboyant. And he is a very big penny pincher. Ugh, say that 5 times fast. And it is quite funny how it comes into play through the whole series. Well, then you have the hero Amelia, or Emmy something. I'm not exactly I'm not exactly sure what a lot of their last names are or whatever. Not sure if it's first name or last names. I get that confused a little bit. She is actually the hero that initially defeated Satan and made him have to retreat to get to this world. And she followed him to kill him, but as time progresses, she sees that he's not how she was originally taught he was. And at the end of the anime, it shows that she is grown to have at least a bit of respect for him. Not much. She's still wary about him and all that, but she has a respect for him. Well, then there is a cute and bubbly little Chiho, or Chi, who is Sadao's co-worker, or Mao is what they usually call him. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure that Mao is his last name. So the name that they usually call him is the last name, but I'm not completely sure, but I think that is how it works. So, she is, at very first, when she first comes in, she is really freaking clumsy. And it is joking that sorry about that. There's dust or something around, and I'm not sure about what's causing it. But she is clumsy, and they joke that she's planting the potatoes in the floor because at first she drops them like every other day, which is actually pretty funny. But it shows just how kind he is, because a lot of the times Mao goes to save her. Actually, that is a big part of the story. She's kind of like the damsel in distress thing there. So that's how that works. But she actually gets to where she is really freaking brave. by the end of all of this. And then this is a bit of a spoiler with the next person I'm going to talk about that becomes their ally, because he starts out, the first time you see him, he starts out as an enemy. And this is the fallen angel Lucifer, or as he's known in this world, Urushihara. And I'm pretty sure if you were to watch it with subs, I usually watch it with dubs, he would be called a Neat, but in the dub version, they call him a hermit, which if my understanding is correct, is pretty much the same thing. So his turnaround is pretty absolute with that. Like I said, he starts out as an enemy, and then by the end, he helps them defeat the guy that they're facing, and also the one that he was helping in the beginning. So that just goes to show how much of a turnaround he made. Though not completely, he is a fallen angel and a demon, so he did do a little bit of an underhanded thing, which is what helped him. But in the end, like I said, it did help them. Well, now that I've talked about all the characters that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about something that I accidentally missed in my last review, and that is the music. With this one, the music seems energetic and all that, but for some reason, I don't know exactly why, all the songs, and there's one beginning song and 3 ending songs in, I think, a 13 episode or so series, but oh well. But I've actually seen once that it's a lot more than that. And I kind of like the variety, so for me, it's all good. That is not a knock against it. That's just, that part is just an okay, that's cool. You like putting a lot of music. You wanted to change up the music for whatever reason, and where they switched it at actually made sense, unlike some others I've seen. But with the music, with all of it, it kind of did a hype up song for the beginning and kind of a slower build, kind of a slower cool down song at the ends. But for some reason, I don't know why, this is just for me, but all the songs had a bit of a somber note to them. So I'm not sure why, it just seemed that way to me. And with the art style, it was dark when it needed it. It split the worlds. How they did it showed a very big difference between the worlds, and it was dark and forlorning when it needed to be, and bright and cheerful when it needed to be. So they did a very good contrast there. And so with the story, I already touched on it in the beginning, but it starts out with it showing a bit of explaining a bit of the lore of Ente Isla, which is where Satan and all of them, the ones that I talked about, except for Chiho, came from. And the war that's going on and all that. But it jumps you to the final battle between the hero Amelia and Satan, though it doesn't say that it's Amelia at first. It doesn't say exactly who it is at first. It just shows them fighting against a hero. Or if you want to get the terminology right, heroine. Because hero is male, heroine is female, though people usually just say hero for either or. And they wind up going through the gate, and that's when, for lack of a, well, I'm not going to say it. That's when everything happens. They're talking in the language of Ente Isla, and the police come up thinking that they're foreigners because some reason, I'm not completely sure, but it seems like they're pretty much just seeing if they're okay. And the struggles they go through, finding a place to live, trying to get work, Asiel not being able to keep a job. So Mao just like, okay, you can't keep a regular job, you go do research and I'll do the job, and him working up the ladder. So he winds up doing that, and then they wind up finding through Lucifer what he does. They wind up finding a way to get the magic back, but it's not a permanent fix, and if they use it up, they can't go back. I'm not going to say what it is because a little bit more of a spoiler than I would like to say. And after that, even after he transformed, he still helped everybody. And that's what really got Amelia or Emmy to start getting more respect for him. Though she'll never admit it. She'll say until her dying breath at the moment that they are enemies. But you can tell through it, she gets more respect for him. So that's a bit of all that I want to talk about with the story and everything like that. So all in all, with this, I would give The Devil is a Part-Timer. I'm not completely sure what the Japanese name is. It's something Maou-sams, but I would give this anime a good 6 or 7 out of 10. It seems that they wanted to add more to it, and I'm gonna look real quick. It seems like a fairly newer anime. Oh. Yeah, it seems like a fairly newer anime, so I'm pretty sure that it might get another season. It's always possible, so that would be something to look out for. But like I said, 6, 7 out of 10, I'd say more on the low side. Pretty much a low 7, high 6, so I'd probably say 6. Well, Well, I haven't, for my little show and tell, it's been a while since I've done something that I've actually made. So I've got a few magnets here that I've made that I'll show you guys. And I've got two because they go together because they're the same character. So this is one of my Judar magnets, and from Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic and the Kingdom of Magic, of course. And then here is the other one. And with the character, with how he is, I just thought the red background would be best to use on him. Well, as always, everyone, my DeviantArt and Twitter account will be down in the description if you want to check me out. And by the time this is put up, I'm not sure whether I'll have some new pictures up there or not. So if you want to check that out, go and check that out. But as always, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos coming soon. Well, see ya, everybody.